Thank you, thank you. I'm Mr. Lehner. Welcome back to Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. And boy, do I have a great surprise for you guys today. We're going to be taking a look at, you guessed it behind me, areas of circles. So, without wasting any more time, let's jump right into this bad boy. When taking a look at our area of circles, the area A of a circle is the product of pi and the square of the radius. Again, when we talk about pie, we're not talking about that delicious pie that you might be eating for dessert, or you might go to like the Baker Square and get that free pie rush Wednesday. We're talking about the math pi, which is our symbol up here, which stands for 3.14. I know, your stomachs are probably pretty hungry like mine now. Our formula for the area of circles is the area equals pi r squared. The r is going to stand for the radius of the circle. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what's the radius? That's the next step. If we look at an example problem, here is our radius in this problem. Our radius is our point here in the middle of our circle to the end of the circle here, and that's 4 feet. So it's been labeled that the radius is 4 feet. Following our formula, the area is going to be pi times r squared. So if you have your calculator handy, you can type in 3.14, or if your calculator is handy enough, you might have the pi symbol. 3.14 times 4 squared, which is going to equal 50.24 feet squared. Sometimes you might want to round these numbers to the nearest tenth. Well, if I'm rounding this problem to the nearest tenth, I look at the 2, I look to the right. If it's 4 or lower, it stays the same, so it can become 50.2 feet squared. I just found the area of this circle. Let's look at a different example. Well, this one's a little bit different. Now I have a line that spans through the entire circle. And it tells me this line is 12 feet. Do you know what we call that line? Well, I think I heard you say it. Diameter. You're exactly right. We call this the diameter. Now when we're finding the radius, and we're looking at the diameter, the radius is half the diameter. So if this entire line is 12, half of that would be 6. You're correct. So each one would be 6. So the radius of this would be 6. Now I plug in my formula. I take 3.14 times 6 squared, which equals 113.04 feet squared. If I round this to the nearest tenth, it would just become 113 feet squared. Again, I started with the diameter. I just used the radius here. I plug it into my formula, and I solve the area for this circle. Again, the most exciting part of the video. It is your turn. And I've given you 2 problems up here. I want you to try and find the area of this circle that has a radius of 7 feet and the area of this circle that has a radius of 2 feet. Again, grab that pencil, make sure it's sharp. Go ahead and take out that piece of paper, pause the video to solve these problems. Alright, in our first problem, you had 7 feet. You should have plugged in 3.14 times 7 squared to equal 153.86 feet squared. If you round that to the nearest tenth, we look at the 8, look to the right, we should round up, and it should become 153.9. Some of your calculators may have automatically rounded it up for you. In our second problem, our radius is 2 feet. So we take 3.14 times 2 squared, which is going to equal 12.56 feet squared. Again, when we round this problem, we look to the right. It's 5 or higher, so this is going to be increased by 1, so it becomes 12.6 feet squared. Go ahead and give yourself a nice round of applause if you got those 2 correct. If not, try a couple other example problems. Make sure that you typed in the numbers correctly into your calculator and that you follow the formula for area of circles. Thank you once again for tuning in to another great webisode of Mr. Lehner's Math Extravaganza. As always, we'll see you next time.